great the chasm that lay between us, how high the mountain I could not climb. In desperation, I turned to heaven and spoke your name into the night.
Welcome to Living Faith's Midweek Devotions. We're continuing in our study of Genesis, and I'm glad that you've joined us for today. There's a big advancement in what's taking place with Noah. If you can remember back in Genesis chapter 7, the first verses, what we covered last week, Noah and his family entered the ark because the water started to come down, and the Lord shut them in. Well, we pick up today with verse 17, where we see the floodwaters continue to rise and fall down from the sky, and then eventually they end. Let's look at all the context of what's happening here and see how this applies to us today. Genesis 7, beginning at verse 17. For 40 days the flood kept coming on the earth, and as the waters receded, they lifted the ark high above the earth. The waters rose and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the water. They rose greatly on the earth, and all the high mountains under the entire heavens were covered. The waters rose and covered the mountains to a depth of more than 15 cubits. Every living thing that moved on land perished: birds, livestock, wild animals, all the creatures that swarm over the earth, and all mankind. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils died. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out: people and animals and the creatures that move along the ground, and the birds were wiped out from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. The waters flooded the earth for 150 days. Chapter 8. But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock that were with him in the ark. And he sent a wind over the earth, and the waters receded. Now the springs of the deep and the floodgates of the heavens had been closed, and the rain had stopped falling from the sky. The water receded steadily from the earth. At the end of the 150 days, the water had gone down. And on the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The waters continued to recede until the 10th month, and on the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains became visible. So we're going to stop for this week. There's a lot of things happening here, and it seems like same old thing, right? The flood waters were coming, and they just kept on coming and coming and coming. Didn't take long for those waters to come. But notice how long it took for the waters to go down. When it seems like in life that you're getting bombarded with one thing after another, your plans have been shaken up because a health crisis, or maybe a financial crisis, or something else. Maybe it's relationships. Maybe it's work, where things just keep on getting worse and worse, or more and more responsibilities, and you just can't handle it all anymore. It just seems too much. Think about Noah and his family. God told them that he was going to send a worldwide flood to destroy the earth, to wipe everything off of it except for those in the ark. So God told Noah to build that ark. And Noah did so with his family, and they entered that ark, and the Lord shut them in, reminding them that he was in control, that he was going to protect them, that he was watching over them. As you are bombarded with these things that come up in life, troubles, problems, difficulties, one thing after another, there are a lot of times where it seems like you can't handle it. And I can't handle it. That you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. When is this going to end? When is this going to get better? And it just seems like it continues to get worse. You notice what Moses writes about Noah? Verse 1 of chapter 8. But God remembered Noah. In the midst of all the things that you're suffering, God remembers you. Why does he remember you? because he loves you, because he created you, and he wants to save you. And those who believe in him, he will bring out of the darkness into the light. He will bring out of the drowning floods to everlasting life. It may not seem like the problems are going to get better on this earth, and they may not. But your life will be better for sure in the end when he comes to take you to be with him forever. That is the light at the end of the tunnel, but there are many other lights at the end of the tunnel, even in this life, before he takes you home. And he wants us to see that. To see that the waters, the floods, the troubles of this life will start to recede and will start to go down. And then, as you're trusting in him, you will rest on dry land again, just like the ark did on the mountains of Ararat. Because God remembers you. Because you trusted in him, he says, I will save them. I will use them to repopulate the earth, to spread my truth and my grace to all so that they know that I remember my people. That's what God has called us to do. So no matter what you're going through here in life, no matter what struggles you have right now, God remembers you. He's watching over you, and he's going to use what you're going through, not just for your good, but for the good of others and for the good of his kingdom, to grow his kingdom so that more people can see that God remembers them. God be with you, dear friends. May you always remember that God remembers you. Until next week, God bless you.
The cross is broken, I am forgiven. The King of Kings calls me his own. Beautiful Savior, I'm yours forever. Jesus Christ.